Hey folks, how we doing? We're inside today. We're in the man cave down the bottom of the garden because it is absolutely minging out there. It's awful. I don't know what's happened to the weather, but hey, it's what it is. It's British summertime, isn't it? So what I want to do today, after the last video that I put out, I think it was that Kingfisher one, I had a few people asking me about the type of head that I use on the tripod, and I wanted to show you what two options I've got. So this is the head that people are talking about. Now this is the Manfrotto 502AH, and it's a fluid video head. Now I've also got this Kenro GCH1 carbon gimbal. What we're going to do, we're going to have a look at both of them. We're going to have a look at the merits, the positives, the pros, the cons, and I'm going to give you my conclusion, which one I use and which one's going to go. One's going up for sale. So yeah, let's have a look at them. Okay, so we're going to have a look now at the Manfrotto Fluid Video Head. I've mounted it here on the tripod. It has quite a large base, so it isn't ideally suited to this tripod. This tripod is it's going to get replaced. All right, Father Christmas is getting a big list this year. He's going to need a bigger sledge. So ideally, the big Gitsos or Benro do them where they have a large top plate. This is more ideally suited. It works fine, but you're not getting the best out of it, I don't think. All right, so ideally you don't want the diameter, the top of your tripod, smaller than the this diameter on the base of your fluid head. So anyway, that's mounted on. This one doesn't use the Arca Swiss plates. It comes with its own quick release plate. It's a little bit larger. So we just slide that on. There's a button here, you can see there, that you have to press, and that operates that mechanism. So we just press that in, slide it on, and then it has the pins that will stop it from actually sliding off, that safety feature I was talking about. And then all it's a case of doing, we have that knob there on the side that we turn, and that locks it into position. So that is firmly on now. We have a knob at the front there, and we have a lock at the side. So that's the side lock. That's for the vertical motion, okay, the tilt up and down. We can lock that off. There we go. And when we're panning, the lock for that is at the front, okay. So we just lock that. Very simple. I just get used to operating that with your left index and middle finger, and you can lock that off quite easy, and that will secure it. We've also got two other adjustments on it, which these alter the amount of drag. So as you can see, if I back it off completely, okay, that will move really freely. You're not taking advantage then of the drag system. So for videoing, you know, that's not what you'd use. What you do is you just tighten that up a little bit, and then you've got this nice fluid resistance motion, which is critical when you're doing filming. Okay, you will never get that movement with a gimbal. All right, as good as that gimbal is, it won't give you that fluid resistance. For the fluid resistance for the panning, that's this large ring here. Okay, so we can back that off, okay, to the minimum amount of drag, and then that will give us full 360-degree motion. You can see how easy that moves, as quick as any gimbal. If we want that resistance, again, for the videoing techniques, we just tighten that up a bit, and then we have this fantastic resistance drag, again, which is critical for filming, and we can get some really nice, fluid, smooth motions. So range of movements, if we back that off, I mean, some people say to me, well, yeah, is it as good as a gimbal? Have we got as much movement? Well, you look at that. there's there's actually more range of movements than on a gimbal, because when that pushes forward, that will go completely down to that angle, and more, it'll go back on itself, and looking up, it'll look right up vertically. You can't get that range of movement with a gimbal. So for me, that is just as good as any gimbal. When I got back into wildlife photography, I thought the first thing I need one of these, because everyone, well, practically everyone who's anyone, has got a gimbal. And I bought this horrifically cheap Chinese one. I thought it'd be all right. Oh, it was tragic. It was horrible. It had a really gritty feel to it. You know, there was no stability there in the swinging arm. It was enough to put you off photography for life. I nearly threw it in the river actually one day. So that went in the bin. And as much as I wanted like a Wimberley, or one of these big fancy expensive ones, I ended up going for this. Now it wasn't cheap. It were a couple of £100. I think 220 quid they were going for at the time. And it does a job. I do like it, and particularly for panning, for birds in flight, that kind of thing. And I used it all the time up to when I started doing my YouTube videos, because when I was doing a lot more filming and a lot more video footage, for the life of me I could not get any smooth footage. As good as the bearings are in this, you need that fluid resistance if you're doing filming. Anyone that does video footage will know what I'm talking about. It is smooth and the bearings are fine, and there's no friction there, but there's no resistance. If I push that, it keeps going. And so that's why I ended up going for the video head. So looking at the specs on this, the weight, it weighs 1.3 kilograms, so it's not too heavy. It's well made. You can tell it's a quality bit of kit. It's carbon fibre, your stainless steel fittings on it, for your weather resistance. The arms, aluminium, all the bolts, they're all stainless. So like I said, it is a quality piece of kit. Weight wise, it'll take 15 kilograms, so it'll take a fair lump on it. It'll take these big prime lenses, your big 500 f4s, 600 f4s, it'll take them no problem. What else have we got? Arca Swiss plate. It takes one of them, pretty standard fitting. It's got the grooves in, obviously, so that once it's sat in there, it's like a fail-safe. If that isn't done up properly, it won't slide off. So you've got that safety buffer in it. Now we've mounted it on the tripod. Again, it's got a large bottom plate. I think it's 65mm, not quite as large as that one. Not a great deal in it, but yeah, a little bit smaller, so it's a little bit more suited to this tripod. Again, it would be better if the top of the tripod was larger than the bottom of the gimbal head. So anyway, we've got that on now. Arca Swiss plate. I like to use a large, long plate when using these super telephotos. You've got a little bit more adjustment, to get your balance. Screw that on. And I'm not going to go through how to set a gimbal up, because if you have a gimbal, you will know how to do that. But again, super smooth. We've got full 360 degree of movement there. But if you look, that's a restriction to me. What I can do, I can actually slide this up on that arm. And that will give me, a bit more, but it's not as much as the video head. And again, it's that kind of angle. I don't know what that is, maybe 10 degrees. But with the other one, with the video head, I had the ability to go completely vertical. So, and that's without having to adjust it as well. Back down there, it's a case of undoing it and dropping it down. And as much as I tried before I got the video head, I couldn't get that smooth panning motion. You know, I was trying to brace, I was trying to slow it down with my hand. You know, it's not bad, but you can tell when you look at your videos later on, you can tell that it's not done on a fluid video head. Whereas, you know, before, if you try and push it with your finger, it'll just grab slightly, and that's not down to the quality of the gimbal head, because it's not a cheap one. But for people who aren't doing any videoing, you know, they're superb. I mean, you know, you can see how quick they are. But another thing that I thought about with the video head, you know, when you have that little bit of fluid resistance, it kind of slows everything down as well. Whereas with you know, a gimbal head, you can be too quick to move. But if you're in a hide, say you're photographing something that's particularly twitchy, you know, I mean, everything responds to movement. If you use them really slow, deliberate movements, something that you're photographing, it's not going to notice you as much. Whereas if you're quick, they'll lock onto that quick movement, and they'll be away, and they're gone, and they're not coming back. So I found using the video head, it really does slow you down. You know, you nice, slow, deliberate movements, and whatever you're photographing, it's not going to be as likely to spot you and you know, and be spooked. So that is my. It's only a quick video. This it was just to answer a few questions that people had asked me. You know, why are you using that video head thing and you're not using a gimbal? And so I thought I'd you know, just post this film out. And the conclusion is, well, every time I go and pick my gear up out of my spare room, this one is left there. All right, the gimbal, it's left in the camera room, and I always take this out. So that just tells the story. This is sat there doing nothing, so this one is going. I don't see the point in having it, really. I get everything I need out of this video head, and it is fantastic, and it's cheaper as well. I think these retail brand new at about 175 quid. What I'll do, I'll drop a link in the description at the end of the film, and you'll be able to, you know, you can get them directly off Amazon. But I love this video head. It is fantastic, it's brilliant, and I have that full range of movement and more than this. I just don't know why more people don't use them for wildlife photography. Well, I mean, for any kind of photography, you know, they're more stable than a ball head. You know, you've got that massive plate that the camera's sat on, and in conjunction with a large tripod, the bombers, they're absolutely, they're great. They really are. You've got extra fittings on here. Apparently, you can fit, you know, if you wanted to fit microphone equipment, or you can actually fit a monitor. I think it's a 3/8 screw either side. So packed with features, yeah, and it's very, very well made as well. I mean, it's, you know, it's a lump, it is, but you know, it's quality. You can feel the quality in it. So Manfrotto don't make cheap stuff, do they? You know, they make good gear. So yeah, that's my conclusion. So this is staying, and this is going. So goodbye, Mr. Gimbal. I can buy something else with that, can't I? I'll get myself a little macro lens or something like that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Only a quickie. Yeah, we'll see you out there. If you've liked it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and yeah, stay safe, and we'll see you out there.